Shalom, let's give all praises to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, that belongs to the apostles and elders of GMS that taught us this word. I just want to talk about the destruction of the nuclear missiles and how all this destruction must come in order for us to, receive the kingdom. But, there is going to come a time of judgment, the Most High is going to gather all the nations in the Middle East. The Valley Decision, and release his indignation, his righteous anger, which is these nuclear missiles. The first scripture is 2 Ezra 16 and 13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss, when they begin to be shot unto the ends of the world. So obviously, it's not talking about an actual bow and arrow. It's talking about nuclear missiles, because you can't shoot an actual arrow from one end of the earth to the other. So basically, when the prophets saw these visions, they described it to the best of their ability based on, the objects and the technology that they had in that time. Like for the missiles, they described it as, an arrow or a glittering spear. Like the mushroom clouds, they described it as, a scroll, like a rolled up scroll. So that mushroom cloud looked like a, rolled up scroll. So these arrows, will be shot from one end of the earth to the other, and to the ends of the world. So that's how we know we're talking about that nuclear missiles. If we read the scripture up, verse 12 says, the earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof, the sea riseth up, the waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord, before the glory of his power. Yeah, it's going to be a big earthquake when the missiles hit, man. Scripture say the earth will rock to and fro like a drunkard. Next scripture is Isaiah 24:19. The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage. And the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. Yeah, there's going to be so many missiles that hit. It's going to shake the world, man. It's going to be a huge earthquake. It's going to be a lake of fire. It's talked about in the book of Revelation. That lake of fire is just, all of America being burned up. Like 200 million missiles hitting it, It says the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. So, you want to seek the Lord while he may still be found, so that, Lord will, you can get beamed up in that chariot, looking down at the destruction and not actually taking part in that destruction. Because it's going to be a day of darkness and gloominess, man. As the scriptures say, thick clouds, darkness. It's darkness and not light, But yeah, we're moving closer and closer to that time. The next scripture is Zephaniah 3:8. Therefore wait ye upon me, say the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. It says, wait upon the Lord till he rises up to the prey, The Lord's determination is to gather the nations, Valley of Jehoshaphat, Valley of Decision, It's to gather all the nations for that World War III and destroy them and nuke them, And after that takes place, that's, when our kingdom will be established. For then will I turn the people of pure language, turn to the people of pure language, that they may call upon the name of the Lord, to serve him with one consent. Yeah, once everything's destroyed, these other people are gonna, these other nations, these heathens are gonna build up our kingdom, and the Lord's gonna turn us back to our language, to our heritage, to who we truly are as a people, the Israelites, Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, man, that they may call upon the name of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. The whole nation is going to do that, and serving with one consent, one mind, one body, a true people again. So all this has to come to pass, these prophecies, wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places, beginning of sorrows, all that has to come to pass. Nuclear destruction has to come to pass. And then will the kingdom come. So you have to wait for it, The last scripture is Isaiah 49:22. Thus saith the Lord power, behold, I will lift up my hand to the Gentiles, and set up my standard to the people. And they shall bring thy sons in their arms, and thy daughters shall be carried upon their shoulders. Yeah, the Gentiles is talking about the other nations, And they're going to carry our sons and daughters on their arms, Our daughters are going to go back to, being so gentle that their feet don't touch the ground, These other nations are going to be carrying our sons and our daughters on their shoulders, man. That's slavery. And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers, and they shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth, and lick up the dust of thy feet. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me. Yes, it's all about waiting for Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. Gotta wait for him. Scripture say, though it tarry, wait for it. You don't want to give up the faith. You don't want to lose patience, because great things are coming, to the ones that wait, for the Lord. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Yeah, it says, and they shall bring thy sons in their arms, and thy daughters shall be carried upon their shoulders. They're going to lick the dust off thy feet, They're going to get that rightful position of leadership back, being the top nation on the planet. That's coming, but this nuclear destruction has to come first. So, man, you got to have faith, seek the Lord while he may be found, so that you may be hid in that day and delivered, But, with that, they'll shalom on.